Is that the breastfeeding cup?
Well, I had that and then
Okay.
it broke. And I realized that I literally don't drink water out of anything except that. Like I got different ones and I was like, ooh, my water intakes were really going down. And my office partner was like, got this for me. And I thought, oh man, this is the greatest because it is you drink so much more water out of this.
Yes,
So
you do. Yes, you do. Well, I recognize the purple handle because
yeah.
the breastfeeding one is the
She was the best. She was like, "Do you think it's the shape or the straw or the color? Because you like purple." And I was like, "I don't know. Beats me. I'm just telling you, I'm not drinking water anymore." She was like, "I'll figure it out for you." She's a good problem solver and a
That's
good
funny.
friend.
Well, Becca, this is Helen.
Hi.
Helen, this is Becca.
Nice to
This
meet
is
you.
this is fun to do a virtual meet. Welcome, everyone. Season 2, episode 26 of Millennial Mom Thoughts.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I am very excited today, listeners, because we have a guest. 2026. 2026, episode 26.
Whoa.
Whoa. Did I just blow everyone's mind?
Numerology.
Well, I guess I didn't even ask. You go by Becca professionally, or do you go by Rebecca now?
Oh no,
You're still Becca. Okay,
Yes.
good. I didn't even think to
I moved
say
to Arkansas and changed my whole.
this is
Nope.
now Mrs. Rebecca Bramwell. No, we
No.
have Becca Bramwell joining us, who I got to know quite well through working together at East Peoria High School. And we're gonna talk about like school stuff, mom stuff, technology stuff, all the things that we have time to fit in our segment. So obviously I know you. Helen has not had the chance to meet you. Um, and do you want to give like like the typical staff, like tell us about yourself, give us an
Okay.
intro.
Yeah.
What where are you from? What got you started in education?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have? All the things.
Okay. You're gonna give me one of these if I'm like not talking fast enough. Wrap it up.
Okay.
Okay, so and I think it's like so much of it has been like technology has been embedded in a lot of it too. I knew that I was interested in education and specifically math early on. So I knew that from high school that I wanted to do that. And went to Eastern Illinois University and
Woohoo! Go
had some
Panthers.
woo
Sorry.
woo. Um,
You can give a shout out.
yeah,
It's
heck
fine.
yeah. I went there when President Perry was the
Mhm.
president, who was
Same.
also a math major. So he taught one of my first classes. And
Nice.
so he was the best. When I graduated, I was like, I thought I wanted to stay there, but then I was really, I don't know where I want to go, kind of thing. And my cousins actually live in Webb City, Missouri, which is just outside of Joplin. And it was about 2 years, I think, post Joplin tornado. And they had massive turnover because the United Arab Emirates made a big donation to the school district
Mhm.
with the caveat that it must be used to not replace their old materials, but to take the high school into the future. And one of the biggest things that they did with
Oh,
that was instead of purchasing textbooks, they got all of the students MacBooks and all of the teachers and said, we are going fully digital. We're not purchasing textbooks. We're not doing this. This is what we're going to do.
what year
And
was this?
obviously, this was 2013. Now,
2013.
that it probably was like 2012, the 2011, 2012, or 2012. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get this wrong now.
That's
Uh,
okay.
I want to, it was like the year after the tornado was when they like came back. And then I started working there the following year. But
Okay.
I think I mean, obviously, that's a huge shift for veteran teachers.
Totally.
And so they were like, I'm done. Right. And I don't blame them necessarily, but they had huge turnover, mainly, I think, due to that. And so I was in a department with six veteran math teachers who were just amazing and so in it. And then six brand new teachers, and that was the math department. And our goal was really to utilize the technology. We did not have textbooks, no access to textbooks, nothing. They did have 21st century learning coaches who helped us. I didn't know that was a thing. Now they're
Yeah.
called instructional
Mhm.
facilitators. All kinds of different names for it, technology specialists, learning coaches. But I did not know that that was a position. I was like, ooh, I really like this um, position. Like, if I knew that this was a thing that existed, like, I probably would have been interested in it in college. I had the absolute best learning coach, whatever you want to call her. Shout out to Shelly Tarter. She
Mhm.
was the learning coach in the high school for all of us high school teachers, but her background was second grade education as a second grade
Mhm.
teacher. And it was just so eye opening. I always say I'm so thankful for like my formative years in education because I learned so much in Joplin. And she really showed me like good pedagogy is good pedagogy, good learning and instruction is good learning instruction. Like, it's the practice, not necessarily the grade level, and things work all over the place. Missouri's also where I met my husband, and he worked in college
Yeah.
athletics. And so that took us back up to Illinois, where I started working at East Peoria Community High School. And me and Jordan started the same year.
Yep.
And this is my technology tidbit. I don't know if you remember this, but our first day, we had to go multiple days for like new staff orientation. And
Right.
there was some sort of quiz. I can't remember what it was, like what the quiz was, but the prize was a mug that said Google on it. And
Yes.
Jordan definitely prided herself, rightfully so, on her knowledge of technology and how to use it.
Uh-huh.
And like I sat next to her and like she was like, I know this. Like, she was cut. You either earned the mug or like somehow you got the mug later. I can't remember, but I know I was like,
Didn't
oh, I
somebody
like
like
this girl.
I think we tied and he was like, I'm taking the mug.
That's what it was, but you got it
Like,
later
okay.
because there were other things there too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but we made it. That's how
That's
I
another
met
day.
Jordan. That's a different podcast. Um, so they actually they had some Chromebook carts in the classrooms. I taught math there my first year, but they had a new superintendent and they had a goal to go one to one. And I obviously had that experience from working at Joplin and was very interested in this. I think Jordan and I both served on like the technology integration team at the school.
I
And then they had
I
decided the
don't even
following year.
remember that.
Oh my gosh,
Was that
Jordan,
a
I
thing?
do. Well,
It
because they
wasn't
really
that
wanted to
long ago.
explore it
Mm,
for that 1 year to
that's
decide,
true.
like, it
Yeah.
was before we're going to say we're all in, we need to explore it as a committee and all the different facets, which I really appreciate because, you make one decision in education, it's a domino effect on
Mhm.
all the things. So they did a really good job about planning for that. And one of the things that they wanted to do was create a position that had not previously existed, the technology integration specialist. So I applied for that. I think it was really the end goal was for it to be more of the learning coach. But there were so many like procedures, protocols, um, how to check, like, how are we going to check out 1,000 Chromebooks
Mm.
to them? How are we going to update them? Like, when do we update them? What does that look like to check them in?
All the
What's the
logistical
repairs?
stuff.
So
Yeah.
really that ended up being my job for the first year, like less on the instructional coaching side and more on the technology, just
Let
support
Okay,
side.
let me back you up. How long were you a math teacher? Like from Joplin? Because
So
it was just the
four
one.
4 years in Joplin and
Okay.
then 1 year East Peoria,
And then moved
one and a
to.
half because when
Okay.
I was pregnant with Addie and
Oh,
I
that's right.
I taught math for the first semester. Then I got the job because I think they decided they knew they were going to do the Chromebooks the following year. And so they wanted someone in the position for the semester before to kind of work out the
Mm,
kinks ahead of time
got
more
it.
full time. So when I came back from maternity leave, I was in the role.
Okay. Okay. That's what I didn't
Boom,
remember.
hopped right into it. So yeah, new mom
Yeah.
and
Good job.
and doing that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was going smooth. We're going well, doing all the things. And then of course the following year, my first full year in the job, uh it was either first full year or the second full year. COVID, right?
Right. Right.
First full year, that's the COVID year. So then like obviously I'm just over here trying to teach everybody all the things, how to do these
Yeah.
things. And then not due to COVID, but due to like some flooding and other structural things in the building, we came back the following year after COVID, like the next school year after that March. And we spent the first month still remote,
Mm.
but staff was in the building. And so that was a lot more of like really me trying to support the staff and what
Mhm.
online learning should look like. And I
Mhm.
could do it in person at that point. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
helpful. Um,
So you were more focused on like the supporting teachers
the
in that
first,
role.
yes, like during COVID, that was the case. And then when we were back in the building, I really got to do more with teachers than the logistical side. And my husband got a job at University of Arkansas, so that took
Okay.
us. Well, I had one more kid while I was
Yeah.
still in Illinois. So then I
We're
had a
up to
six
two.
month
There's
old.
one more
Yep,
coming.
yep. And we came to Arkansas. And I mean, Nathan got the job, and like within a week, he got the job. We sold our house. Like that wasn't a positive part of the whole housing market deal.
Mm.
I got
Oh
a
yeah.
job teaching math at the largest school district in the state of Arkansas. Um, and we got a house rented and moved in a week. And then I
In a
started like the
week.
new teacher
Wow. Yeah.
orientation. And I'll say like I'm really thankful. Like I'm not in the classroom anymore, but there's so many things that change um being back in the classroom, first of all, post COVID, and they were still doing, the what is it called? Where you're like within so many feet of the person who has now tested
Oh, the
positive.
distancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like if you are, then you have to go
Oh,
home.
Oh,
contact the
quarantining.
thank you.
Quarantine, that's the word. I like
Quarantine.
blocked
Contact
it out of my head.
tracing.
Contact
Yep.
tracing.
Yep.
Oh my
It's
goodness. I
all
remember
coming
going with
back.
my principal. We'd like go
Yeah.
with this string and like find where they kids
Oh
sat, and I
man.
she'd
Oh
hold it
my
and I'd go like
gosh.
this, and we'd look at the classroom roster and be like, well, call all
Uh,
them. And it was
yeah.
literally like, okay.
Wow.
So we did that. So
Wow.
I was
Yep.
back in the classroom for that. And then also back in the classroom as a mom. Ooh, that was an eye opener, because when
Mm.
I was not a mom, I would just like go home or be, oh, I need to stay late and finish stuff. No big deal. Like my patience, of course, it was a long day. No big deal. Now I'm like, I need to get everything out of my system on this 10-minute drive to
Uh-huh.
go pick them up
Uh-huh.
from daycare, or I'm gonna snap. So
Mhm.
Because that was
that
that
was
middle school, was that middle school math or high school math that
um
you were teaching?
this was eighth grade.
Eighth
So I
grade.
did high
Okay.
school for Joplin, high school for East Peoria, and then this is an 8 and 9 building.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I taught eighth graders. And then the following year, I moved into an instructional facilitator position, which truly was focused on the teaching and learning and getting in the classroom, and really the PLC process, which I just really love. And then I had my son Isaiah, and I had him in September of 23, and my maternity leave got me through December. And then I was like, oh, you know what, I'm actually really loving this because I have all the kids at home. My
Mm-hmm.
oldest is going to
Yeah.
go to kindergarten next year, so we kept them. I just took the next semester off. My like school luckily had that extra semester leave in the contract, which was
Mm.
awesome. So I did that and got to spend a whole year at home with all the kids, which was
Wow.
amazing. Love that. And it really was like a hard decision of whether I was going back or not, because I really did love staying home with them. It was really great.
Yeah.
But I went back for one more year, and then
In the same
at the
position, so
same
eighth grade
position,
math.
same thing, not
Okay.
eighth grade math, instructional
Or
facilitator.
sorry, instructional
Yep,
facilitator.
yep, the
Got it.
same building. And then the end of that year was just this past summer, and that's when I got my new position as principal of Prairie Grove Middle School. Prairie Grove is a little bit further south than where I was before, and it's a smaller district, but I'm now principal of a fourth, fifth, sixth grade middle school that serves about 500
Oh,
kids.
interesting. So it's fourth,
Wow.
fifth, and sixth. So
And we're
what's
getting reconfigured next year, so it'll be third, fourth, fifth.
Interesting.
Prairie
wow.
Grove, like Northwest Arkansas in general, is growing.
Okay.
And I think it really started and further north, but that's starting to trickle down a little bit. So Prairie Grove is growing, rightfully so. We are one of 20 districts in the whole state that got an A rating. Shout out Prairie
Right
Grove.
on.
We got the best teachers, best staff. I'm just saying.
Dang,
That's
congratulations.
awesome.
I am
That is
very happy with where I'm at. They are like the people in my building are locked in team players, all about the kids, work together. I can't
How
say
big
enough
of
good things
a
about them.
okay, how big of a school, how many students are in your school?
I have about 500.
500. Okay. And then
Hmm.
how is the high school are they 9 through 12?
9,
Or
12. Yep.
okay, okay. So then it divides out well now it's going to change. So
Next
K1.
year it'll be K2. I'll have 3, 5. Junior high will be 6, 8. And
Okay.
then high school will be
Okay.
9, 12 still.
Interesting. And how are you the only middle school or are there multiple?
Only middle school.
Only middle school.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
So one question I normally I'm better about writing notes, but I just knew that we would just get talking and it would be
Just
fine and
go.
things would happen. But since Helen and you and I have all worked in schools and we have many listeners, by the way, not just one, but we have many now. Many of
Woo!
our listeners have not worked in a school before. And so one question I wanted to ask you, now that you've worn multiple hats, not just teacher, but also administrator now, what what do you feel like for people who have not worked in school, like what do they not understand about school? I think sometimes people are like, "Well, I went to school, so I get it," but you don't because you haven't worked in a school, and you've worked in just public ed, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so what what do you feel like people don't understand about how education works? I know that's like a big it's a big
Yeah,
question, but what are pieces that you run into, especially now as
probably,
an
yeah,
administrator, of like you don't understand.
just the amount on the plate.
Yeah.
I think, like to your point, people who have been in school think, I mean, I see what happens in this 45-minute period, so I get it. Um, and it's not. So
Yeah.
I think, um, I think just the amount of things on everybody's plate is just like you just don't know until you're in it.
The behind the scenes stuff
Yeah.
or the non-teacher tasks that you are then
Yeah.
tasked with.
Yeah. Well, and even like I think part of it is not um I think people may think I'm just talking about like grading and that kind of thing. That's really like a monotonous task, but it's not. It's the um I think we have really gotten into the art and science of teaching, to use a Marzano term. And like it's a craft, and so people are constantly like, I get my data back as a teacher, and I'm looking student by student what's their next step and trying to individualize that. Like the lesson planning is not turn the page to the next thing that the script says and now I do it. um and then beyond that, I mean, there's just the amount of kids. I know we talk about maybe underdiagnosing years and years ago, but now like they are definitely diagnosed, and we
Yeah.
have lots and lots of things that each individual kid needs for support. And I think we do a lot, like teachers do it whether the student has a piece of paper or not, but accommodating and modifying so
Yeah.
students can do it. Like teachers are just amazing diagnostics. They're amazing at diagnosing what the issue is, right? Like not just I mean, I'm math, right? So like is this a computational thing with like they're asking them questions to figure out where the error is so that I can remove that barrier, get that clarification. And it just like there's just the amount of mental load, I think,
Mm.
that people who work in education carry. Um, it's
Yeah.
just a lot, and I know there's
Yeah.
there's research on that, right? But I think there's reading about it, and then there's like understanding just like how much is on a teacher's plate.
And
It's
you had
crazy.
also mentioned earlier about like the domino effect where you make one change in
Oh my
education.
gosh.
And so just thinking on the systems level too, like everything I hear you talking about as well. It's not just one teacher in a classroom, but they are working within this network. And so,
Hmm.
especially when it comes to things with technology, those changes have huge impacts on
Yes.
what a teacher's day looks like and how that impacts their students.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, massive, massive turnover when Joplin made that shift.
Mm-hmm.
I had lots of conversations in East Peoria with teachers who were just like, "Ooh, nope, no thanks," um, and because it needs to take something off the plate if I'm going to do it because it's
Mm-hmm.
already overflowing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How how did just as a going back, how did the United Arab Emirates become involved with Joplin? Like, how did that happen?
The tornado, just because it's the deadliest tornado in American history,
Yeah.
and they are very charitable.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's the connection there? I mean,
No, there's not, right? It's the most
yeah.
random thing, but it was a
Huh.
fun fact that when I moved to Joplin and got employed there, that they were very like, here's the thing, like we're
Here's how we
looking for
do.
innovation.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay, so now Addie is in your oldest is
she's
in
first grade.
first grade. Wild.
Hmm.
Um, I still and I've forgotten many things. I've realized my brain is not as great as I once thought it was because I'm not writing enough down. But I do remember the moment of being in the car and you told me when you were pregnant with Addie. So I still remember that, and I remember where we
Yeah,
were
because I thought there
on
was a gas
74.
leak in my house.
Yeah. Anyways,
uh,
okay. So Addie's in first grade,
yes,
and then Brooklyn is in
pre-K,
pre-K, and
and
then
then Isaiah
Isaiah
is
just,
2.
yeah, okay. So now that you have the mom perspective, as in with school, and I have that now too with Camden being in
Hmm.
kindergarten. It's just different seeing school from the parent side. How how has that changed or maybe informed how you are as a principal? Because it not that you wouldn't have maybe taught differently, but like you were saying, like I'm not staying later. I'm
Yeah.
not, I have things that I need to get home to. But
Yes.
how do you feel like, and this is such like a lame, like how do you balance it all being a mom, like those are those cheesy
Yeah.
questions, but
Right.
it's like how do you balance being mom, but then also an administrator who's in charge of, a
Hmm.
building and teachers and like the culture of the school. Like how do you feel like that's been different since you became a mom?
Hmm. Um, I think I can empathize with other parents a lot more, parent educators.
Yeah.
Um, I think before kids, I just be like, I don't know, like what, like it's hard, like, kind of
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, I'm on the prowl for a man in my free time. I'm working out, I'm hanging out, I'm having a good time. And then I'm like, oh, kids, I need a nap. Like,
Right,
I just need to
right.
go home and sleep. Um, so I think I can empathize a lot more. Like, I really try to, like, when I have a teacher who tells me that they're pregnant, whether it's first time, second time, like, I'm like, how's it going? How you doing? What do you need? Here, this is what can work. Do you need somebody in here when they come back? Like, I think like having a nice pump room, like
Yeah.
checking in on mental health. Like, I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but I got sick with Addie every
Oh, I
other class
remember.
period, like
Yeah.
literally every other hour. And I was like, it just so happened I had a para in there or a co-teacher every even hour. And I would just like go throw up, brush my teeth, come back. And like, because I
Isn't
wasn't
that wild?
nauseous, I just was sick.
Yeah.
And so I just am like, so from that perspective, or even like I was also union president, right? And so I got to hear a
Oh,
lot of that
yeah.
kind of fun stuff in East Peoria. But I think it's kind of funny. As an admin, I was talking with um one of my current staff members who was talking about wanting to start a family soon. And I'm over here like, have you checked our policy? Because you might be able to get a free year. Like, you won't get, like, here's what
Yeah.
I'm all for do what you need to do for your family and your mental health, your sanity, all that kind of stuff. That obviously doesn't stop with the first year or after maternity leave and that kind of stuff. So,
Mhm.
um, I it sounds so cheesy, but I think I really have worked for people who um say like they support family first. But like it really they do mean it. Like I mean, I was a wreck when I was about to call my principal and be like, I actually don't want to come back next semester. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
And he was like, you listen, you'll regret it if you don't. If you're considering it, like do what you need to do now.
Mhm.
And like he's got older kids who are in college. And so he was, I think he had a kid who was a senior in high school. So he's over here on the other side,
Mm.
like aching
Right.
for more time. And I'm like, I'm debating whether or not I should stay home.
He's
He's
like,
like, do
do
it.
it.
Um, and then now I work for someone who is just like the superintendent, and he is so amazing and straightforward about it that he's like, we're family first. And like on our back to school, he's a new superintendent, and he was like talking about, I'm going to be straightforward, I'll get you what you need. That doesn't mean always getting what you want, and also I won't always be available. I'm a dad, and I won't be answering my
Okay.
emails and my phone, and I don't expect you to either, kind of thing, like
Mhm.
outside
That's
of
nice.
hours. And he was previously the principal in the building I'm principal in. And so like that
Mm.
culture already exists. And so
Yeah.
I just got to kind of step into
Mhm.
it. I'm benefiting from his prior leadership that's just kind of how they all function. Um, so like they really do. Like it's just like, oh, you need to go home. Okay. Like,
Mm.
oh, you're
So it's a
tired from
supportive,
yeah,
Mhm.
like
yeah.
they're like there's just that empathy is kind of like it's the culture as
Mhm.
opposed to in different spots. And then like for myself, it's having a husband who is a dad, right? Like
Right.
that's a game changer when they consider themselves like, you know,
When they
half
don't
of the
say, "Is
equation.
dad babysitting tonight?" It's
Yeah.
like, "No,
Mm.
it's not babysitting. You're the dad."
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. That drives me crazy by I don't know
He's
that
like,
we've
"Oh,
ever
I'll
brought
just."
that up, but
I
that
told him
drives
I
me
was doing
crazy.
this, and he's like, "Okay, so I've got both sets of sleep tonight because the girls are in one room. He usually puts
Mhm.
them down, and I put Isaiah down. He's like, I guess I'll do both tonight, and I'm like, thanks.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, he is. He's great.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Brian is also upstairs. Sunday nights, it's
Mm.
Brian puts
Yeah,
Lily down first, and
We've
then
yeah.
got oh.
Camden plays for maybe a little bit later than he probably should, because normally it's like I get that routine started, and then,
Hmm.
anyways.
We've got 7 o'clock bedtime over here, so I'm still
Oh,
putting Violet down.
seven.
Well, we switch
Yeah.
off kind of every other night, but I did tonight. But this week I have my first overnight away, and
Oh,
I'm like
For something
not.
fun.
It's for a conference that I'm very excited about.
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, I'll be gone Thursday, Friday, and I'm like, I
Where is it?
know Milwaukee. So
Ooh, what conference is
Milwaukee.
it?
Okay.
it is
I'm
the
gonna geek out
Writing
over.
Writing Innovation Symposium. So I guess not even conference technically, but it's writing teachers teaching writing.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah,
That's
it'll be
awesome.
fun. But anyway, I'm not thinking about that part of it because I know it'll be emotional and I know it'll be hard. But I have a she's 11 months old,
Okay.
turning
Yes.
one
Yes.
soon, so this will be
I know I got our little invite with our little
oh good.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the RSVP is yes, by the way.
Oh well, you need to call. No, I will mark you
I
down.
think I
And
told you that before
lunch
you
will be
So
invited me.
fun.
served, by the way.
Oh,
I
you are
find
doing
yes, I am.
lunch.
Uh-huh.
Can we just talk about the stressfulness of kid birthdays
Birthday
and the
parties.
timing, where you
Listen.
do it, what time you do it, when you
Uh-huh.
have multiple kids and trying to, or even like other people's kids, it's like nap schedules, and
Mm-hmm.
it is really stressful. And who do you invite? And
Mm-hmm.
so like for me with Camden having a February birthday, it's like, well, I don't I've run out of options that are manageable cost-wise
Cost effective.
Uh-huh.
for indoor things. So we're going to try something new this year. We're going to do like a push the birthday party to the spring-ish
Mm.
time
Yeah.
so that we can go to the park and then I can invite
Mm.
his whole class, cuz I also like I don't want to just single out just a few kids.
Hmm.
Like I want to like please run, go crazy, all of you have fun together. But there just aren't places that, again, that are, for me at least, affordable to do like
Well, because they put like
entire
it'll be
class.
this massive fee, and you're like, oh well, and it'll be like you can have 4 people.
I
I'm like,
know it's
what?
so
It'll be an
expensive.
additional $12 per extra person. I'm
I
like,
know.
excuse me. Yeah,
It's
Addie and
so
Brooklyn's
much.
birthdays are December 19th and 23rd. So I
Right.
feel you on
Yeah, the
the
cold
like
month
so far I've been
birthdays.
able to do their birthday parties together. And I'm just hoping like
Mm-hmm.
you guys love each other, right? Just do it together.
It's just a
It's
thing
fine.
now for the
It's
rest of
fine.
your lives. You're that close together. You just
Yeah.
have to have your birthday parties together. Oh, but then that's double the kids. That's double of.
Which is why
Mm.
we do luckily there's a gymnastics place that
Oh,
has a
nice.
0 limit. So we're just like
Oh,
get it and
nice.
run.
You're
Good.
like, I've
Good.
maxed it. Even though it's a 0 limit, I've maxed it out. Like, ma'am, you're
Pretty
bringing
much.
too
I'm like,
many.
I can verify. I'm like, hey, we were there last year. Same deal, yeah. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
Great.
man, the
well,
birthday
that's
stuff is
awesome.
hard.
Congratulations.
Oh,
Do
thank you.
you have a theme for first birthday?
So her name is Violet, and this party is going to be on Valentine's Day. So it's roses are red, violet is one.
That is
Oh,
Let's
adorable.
celebrate and have some fun. But yeah, I did a big
oh,
Hobby Lobby haul this week and got all sorts of
Yes.
flower themed
oh, I'm
I
things.
love
so
that.
Yeah.
excited.
Also, have you read the Empyrean series?
No.
What's
Oh my
that?
gosh. Main character, Violet Sorrengail.
Okay.
Think Harry Potter meets War College meets dragons. It's definitely
Okay.
it's fantasy, but
Okay.
Okay.
it's going to be a 5 book series. It's going to be a Amazon Prime show. 3 books are out. I have
Got it.
theories I would
Okay.
love to discuss, especially
Okay.
with someone who's, I'm guessing you're an ELA teacher
Yeah. Yeah.
based off. Yeah, you're smarter than me with things like this. And so,
We'll have to
yeah,
have a
read it.
follow-up
Read it. I was going to say,
Yeah.
let
We'll
me
do a
part
know.
book
two
Let
will
me
just
club.
know.
be you guys
Uh-huh.
discussing this book.
I love
I
this.
I so my goal for this year was to read more, but and I have been compared to last year, but everything I'm doing is all related to you know, they're all nonfiction. It's all
Yeah.
technology things and
Check out the Empyrean series.
I need something that's
Definitely.
gonna just be like a fun
It's got a
kind of
little bit of
turn my
spice.
brain off.
Spice warning. There's
Oh,
some
there's a
spice.
spice
Oh,
warning.
well,
Like,
now
I'm
she's
giving you
sold.
I'm giving you a little bit of spice
Oh, now
warning.
I'm sold. Yeah. Oh, I know. I need to read something that's not all of what I'm reading. It's good what I'm reading now. It's very
Mhm.
I feel like I'm learning so much and I feel more informed, but it's also
You
like
can only go down so many spiraling rabbit holes
oh, so
at a time.
many. So many. There's a lot.
You need like a checkout book every
Mhm.
now and then.
I do. Well, and because have you Becca, have you heard of Off February? Have I
I
shared this with
have.
you? Oh, you
Well,
have.
I've seen it on
Oh, because
your
you've seen it
Facebook.
'cause yeah. Well,
On your social media.
that's going to be my opportunity instead of grabbing my phone to grab a book instead.
There you go.
That I can develop that
Oh my
habit.
gosh, have you seen these? I'm going to show you this. This is what I got for Christmas from Nathan. Have you seen these things?
What
What
is
is
that?
that?
I mean, they've
For
got the mirror thing, so you don't even have to sit up. You can just lean back
Oh
and
my
hold your book in front of
gosh.
you. Like I can read my hands perfectly right now.
Okay,
That
let
is
me
the
try to
coolest thing I've
describe
ever
this
seen. Yeah, go
because
ahead.
we don't film, well, we
I want
record
to
these,
hear
but we
your
don't post
words.
videos. So Becca has pulled out a pair of they look like glasses.
Mhm.
However, the mirror
They
sloped
slant down.
slanted
So
mirror.
you can
I can't
That
even look at.
is
So wait a minute.
amazing.
it's great for your
Are
neck.
they magnified? Like
Yeah.
No, it's just got a mirror on the top and then here. So like right now, like I'm looking right at you guys.
it's the most ridiculous thing
So
I've ever seen.
listen, we have talk about technology right here. This is
Uh-huh.
we have the we're gonna all gonna have the neck thing. What am I trying
Text
to say?
neck.
The
Yeah.
humpback. We're gonna have
Yeah.
the text neck.
Oh,
And if
yeah.
we don't fix it, and so what I see people is like, oh, I'm basically doing adult tummy time to fix my text neck. But this is
Yeah.
another one that I saw that's like it's reading too, or if you like I read on a Kindle, like you still have it, even if
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you're doing on your phone. If you're on your phone and you're doing
You're
this, it's
bent
hurting your
down.
neck, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you can like lay completely flat, put these suckers on,
Oh
hold
my
it right here,
gosh.
read your book, no text neck.
That
Wow.
is, I've
My
never
I love
seen
favorite,
that before
my
I
in my
best
gotta say
Christmas
life.
that
gift.
Mitch has not seen those before because my husband is so into like all the gear, and including now he's on his big reading kick. And like last
Okay.
year he got a clicker, so like he could put his
Yes, I want
arms
one of
under the
those.
blanket. It's like marketed as a
Yes.
TikTok scroller, but it also connects to whatever Kindle or you're using.
Hmm.
You just click. And he has like
What?
a little
I want that
clamp
too.
that he'll put that on the side of his bed to hold up the book. So I gotta
That,
tell him about these glasses.
I
That's
get the
amazing.
glasses, and then he will like literally, he won't even have to sit up for it. He can
Hmm.
Oh
be
man.
full, like head on pillow, blankets up,
This is
This is
blowing
done.
my mind.
amazing.
This is blowing
Yeah.
my
That
mind. Okay.
innovated.
Is there an official name for these
I don't know. I showed
glasses?
Nathan a TikTok of what it was
Slanted
and said,
mirror
"This is
glasses.
what I want. I want to lay down in bed and read and
Just
fix my
Google
text Nick."
glasses you can wear to read laying down, and then maybe these slanted mirror
It will
glasses
definitely
will
come
show
up.
up.
That's amazing.
Okay, interesting. I've never seen that before in my life.
Well, and it, sorry. I was
No,
just gonna
go
say it
ahead.
brings up a good point that we don't often talk about. You know, we're all always talking about the social and emotional effects of technology and social media use and phones and whatnot, but also
Hmm.
just
Yes,
Yes.
the physical effects as
the
well.
eye
Hmm.
strain and
Okay.
I am worried about not I mean certainly yeah the social, the emotional, the mental health,
Your
but
brain,
the
Hmm.
yes, and but the
neurology.
physical toll that it is, you're pointing your head down.
Hmm.
You're in a unnatural position. I
Our
also wonder
posture
about
is
our
different than the
fingers.
generation before us because of the technology that we
Yes.
use on a regular basis.
Isn't that
Yes.
wild? I do
Hmm.
feel myself, which I don't want to do it now because I'll be away from the microphone, but like I feel myself wanting to straighten out my neck all the time because I realize you're looking
Hmm.
down, straighten up sit up straight, Jordan, fix your posture.
Hmm.
Okay, so I do regularly talk about, and by regular I mean every episode about, uh, I don't want to say doom and gloom, but all of the terrible, horrible things that can happen on social media and all the things. So, okay, you're a principal, and you
Hmm.
certainly are dealing with the cell phone stuff, the smartphone stuff in schools. I have to imagine. Does your district have any like what's your district's
Our
policy
policy,
or
let me tell you this because I'm very happy with it. The
oh yeah.
state of Arkansas has a no cell bell to bell law,
Okay. Yes. So,
and we enforce it.
Fabulous.
okay. And is that with inaccessible storage or do they get to have them on, like how do you guys handle
They
that?
can have them on them. That's fine. They come in, they sit in the cafeteria. The 7:30 bell rings. Like we define it as the first time there's a bell, that
There's a
phone better be
bell.
put away. If
Okay.
we see it, we take it and hold it in the front office. Now, I am working with younger kids at this point,
Right.
and
But
I am
they start
100%
so
on the
early.
wait until eighth, right? Like, that's
Yeah.
my next thing is like, I'm just getting to know everybody this year, but I'm having conversations and I'm hopeful to, start something like that, especially with having third, fourth, and fifth graders.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
have lots of kids who have phones. I think a big part of it is like our Pee Wee sports
Mm.
start in fifth and sixth grade, and there's some like after school opportunities and things like that. And I think parents feel safer when their
Right.
kid has accessible communication with them. And
Yeah.
I understand that. But I think it's a pretty common conversation, right? Of um, there's an age appropriateness to that accessibility.
Right.
Like we don't just decide, like, it would also be great if they could drive themselves. They're 10.
Right.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Their
And
brain
so
cannot
it's
handle
like
that.
100%. They don't have that ability to, make the decision about when to have the phone out or when to put it away. What's a great time to blah, blah, blah. What's an appropriate search? Things like that.
Yeah.
No bueno, right? So, um, we don't have a huge issue with it, but I think that's probably because I'm at middle school now.
Yeah.
I do know of schools in the area who do the pockets, but I will say this, it depends 100% on your, and this is with every classroom management, right? You guys know this, on the adults in the building being on board with it.
Mhm.
Right.
Right, because all it
Right.
takes is one teacher who says like it's not that big of a deal, I don't care if they use it, so it's no big deal to me. Like, no, this is like, first of all, it's a, for us it's a law,
Yeah.
and second of all, like, if your classroom is the one that lets them, like, you just
Mhm.
kind of ruined the consistency across the board. So I
Totally.
would say, like, when I was in the classroom, like when I was a coach, now as an administrator, I think that's a huge part of any, really any like school expectation, but especially things like this, that like we understand this is the the expectation, and it's, what is it, you inspect what you expect. And so I think that's my role, in my current role, is to, when I see it, call it out and make sure that's the case. I have not seen that here, but I will say, in my last role, like, I was taking a student to the office because they had AirPods in, which count, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not connected to anything. Bull crap. Take it and get your phone out, and we're turning them both in,
Yeah.
right? Like, then that's weird because it's essentially earplugs, then, like, bull
Yeah.
crap.
Which
So
is
I'm
not
literally about to
safe to
take this
walk
kid.
around with
Yeah.
two
So he's in
things
the
covering
hallway,
your
and I'm like,
ears.
I'm gonna take this. So I knock on the teacher's door to like let them know, hey, I know you probably sent this kid out to the hall for something else, but I'm gonna go take him to the front office because that's our protocol for turning in phones technology. I go in the classroom, and the teacher doesn't hear me at first because they have AirPods in.
Stop.
So, like, I took this kid, whatever, but then, like, when that
Yeah.
teacher's, like, on that teacher's plan period, I checked in with them and just said, listen, like, we are equals, I am not your administrator, I have
Right.
no authority over you, but this is a problem because, like, how kids in 8th grade, kids in 9th grade, kids in 12th grade do not understand and cannot differentiate the expectations for them versus the expectations for you. And this is a confusing and mixed message when you have AirPods in, and they
During
are not
teaching?
during a class period, and they are not well, they're doing independent time. I didn't think it was a big deal, kind of thing. Like, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no. If so, and I'm very
Okay.
much like a rule follower with this kind of thing, but like, I think that's the case. It goes back to like the trickle down effect and kind of the domino thing. Everybody's got to be on the same page,
Yeah.
or it's an issue. So,
And the modeling.
I
So
think
okay.
schools who have their staff on the same page probably are doing just fine with this new law. I think schools whose staff have mixed feelings about it are getting mixed responses.
Mm.
Is this the first school year that
Hmm.
so since you and obviously Helen was in the high school classroom too. Now that I know you're with younger grades, but have you noticed like a difference um in how like students interact with each other and with
Mm,
teachers now that there is a bell to bell can't be on it, like 'cause I feel like that's the stuff that comes up, at least that I'm hearing, kind of the anecdotal things, like they're talking to each other again, they're
mhm,
socializing,
mhm,
the hallways are louder, like
mhm.
there's conversations being had because they're kind of forced to again because they're not staring down at their rectangles.
I think what's interesting, because we had that rule last year, even though it wasn't the law, but in the junior high, 8th, ninth, when we were talking about the implications of the law and what this might look like, and like, because we did let them have their phones at lunch, and we did let them have their phones in the morning, and it was just during class time. That was the rule. Now it's bell to bell, you can't have it at lunch. So there
Right.
was kind of like a committee that we did a book study on the anxious generation so
Oh
that we could
yeah.
all be on the same page. And then we started talking about implications for what no cell bell to bell was going to look like, and it was so interesting because, like, it was a major concern of like, well, like, we should probably give talking cards like on the tables for
Like
them to
how
be.
to talk to each other.
Because we did have, like, I mean, I had cafeteria duty, and I mean, it was crazy. Like if a kid sat down next to another kid, like they would literally be sitting next to each other but watching different things on their phones. Like
Yeah.
we're isolated. I'm obviously not in that building. I hope that that's different. Um but I think that it's been so ingrained in this like specific chunk of kids that I wonder if they don't need almost like explicit instruction in how to have those conversations again. And like
Isn't that
just
sad?
talk
Isn't
again
that
kind of
Mhm.
sad
thing.
though?
Uh-huh. I mean it is. It is. And it's just like but I think that's the reality. And don't quote me on this because
I
it
won't.
somebody gave me this quote like my second year of teaching. We incorporated an advisory system into um, our system at Joplin. And one of the quotes that I heard was like, we had what was called a gathering, and it was every Monday. And so advisory was 30 minutes. It was called a gathering. And the whole goal was you had to be in a circle. You had to like give some sort of prompt. You had to use some sort of like physical model to respond to a question. And it'd be like something silly. Like there's like literally 50 pairs of shoes, like different types of shoes. And it's like, if you were going to pick a shoe to describe like what your future is going to look like, what will it be? And I thought like this is weird. But the lady who was kind of teaching us what this protocol was going to be for, she was explaining like kids, and this is high school, right? Like they don't know how to have a conversation anymore. Like there are studies that are showing that, like remember when they used to bring like the pictures and they'd be like, tell me the emotions you see and da, 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 like in elementary one. They're like,
Yeah.
they can't do it anymore. They're more likely to do understand an emoji because they don't look at people's faces anymore. So when you're frustrated because
So
you're giving them
wild.
directions over and over and you're like giving them the face and it's having no response on the child, like it's not because they're trying to be jerks, because they literally don't know you're mad because you didn't tell them they're mad. Like hold an
Mhm.
emoji over your face and they would know, because they don't look people's faces enough
Mm.
to know. And so, and like,
Helen,
well, and kids are,
what's your teacher I'm mad
What's
face, by the
oh,
way?
that's a great question. This is an audio only thing,
I
Jordan.
know
You
that's
can't.
well, I know, but that's why I'm like,
I don't
so
get
Becca
that's
just
my
said the
no,
face, and I'm
that was
thinking,
my downfall as a high school teacher, is that I didn't get mad enough. I think I would now,
well,
but
it sounds like it wouldn't matter, right?
yeah.
Because you'd have to tell them with their words. And so
No,
they
the
were
problem
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah. Sorry.
kids can't won't have a conversation like about themselves and whatever in a room with people that they don't feel deeply connected to without being able to have an object. So there's a big difference
Mm,
between me saying like I'm unsure of what my future looks like, I don't have plans yet, or holding like a strappy
Mhm.
heel and being like it's very open because I don't know what it is. Then if somebody
oh,
had like the studies say like that if somebody giggles or whatever, then it's like they're giggling at the card, not at me. And
Mhm.
so it creates a safer space, blah, 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 all this stuff. But the whole like, they don't know what your face means was like they don't look at faces enough to interpret that. I was like,
Mhm.
oh my
yeah.
gosh, like kind of thing. And so it just brings back like, we need to get some reps in of like normal
Mhm.
conversations, and also holding kids to high expectations for those conversations, giving feedback when it's not meeting our expectations. I think that's another big downfall is like we just accept like, oh, they just aren't good conversationalists, like they're
Mhm.
giving me one word answers. And then like you've been in classrooms probably where you're like, you hear the teacher and they go academic language please, and the kid completely changes and switches their whole demeanor. They're using full sentences, they're using their academic vocabulary. Like kids rise to the occasion, they are smart,
Mhm.
we don't expect as much, and I think we should expect more. And they'll be able
Yeah.
to do it.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm still floored on the like, if you hold up an emoji
I
over your face,
know.
then they would
Mhm.
know what
Don't
you're.
like don't quote me at it, but like
No,
it
I
stuck
know.
with me. It stuck with
Yeah.
me, obviously.
Yeah.
But
And that idea of like like the importance of having that physical object, like the look at the shoe, it's
mhm.
like it has to be mediated through something. Like
Yes,
they don't
to make
feel
it safe.
comfortable, confidence. Exactly, exactly. To have that safety of it's not about me, it's about the shoe.
It's
Because it's
about the
not about me,
shoe.
it's about my phone. Like I think they're used to like having
Hmm.
something filtering their
Yeah,
Well,
experiences.
or
and I
physically
think
holding
Mm-hmm.
us
something.
as adults, I mean, I'm sure like here's the mom side of it, right? It's like we want a community, but I know Jordan, your family doesn't live right there. And so like if you
No.
want a community, you got to go get it.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because people don't interact in person and a regular, like
So
you have to
hard.
go out of your comfort zone. So I think like even sometimes we forget, like, I mean, me as an adult, like I went to library group every Wednesday
Mm.
for the whole year that I was a stay, and I was not like, oh hi, my name's like that's a, but I
Yeah.
should. And I think that that's I want community, but I don't
Mhm.
go get it. Right. Like and so I
It's
think sometimes it feels like,
intimidating.
oh, you don't, like we have to facilitate that for them. Yes, I would prefer it facilitated for me. Like,
Yeah.
so.
Well, and I think that's part of what's made things more meaningful and, all of the I'm doing a lot of things, but like
When are
the
you not?
things, well, I know. And like Helen said to me last week, that the difference between like the two of us is I get an idea, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna go do that right now. It's not even that I've really given it much thought or time or like a plan. It's like, okay, I'll just start doing that. But the things that have been more meaningful in and trying to connect with other people who are trying to raise their kids in a, not even no tech, it's just slower tech or more intentional
Hmm.
tech, and not giving a smartphone at 8, 9, 10 years old.
Hmm.
The conversations that are happening in person are the ones that have been most meaningful. And I think, I mean, we would all, I recognize that this is over a Zoom, but like this is a more meaningful thing because we get the chance to like have conversations with each
Hmm.
other. um of course, it would be ideal if it was in person, although it would definitely go way longer if it was in person. And it would probably be while eating snacks and stuff too. So, um,
Yes.
but yeah, trying to build this community with I'm just like throwing things out there, like maybe this will work. Maybe people will come to this.
Hmm.
Maybe people will want to talk to me about this. Um, and it's been the stuff that's like we meet in person. So, I've been hosting these film screenings, and so
Yeah.
those have had some really meaningful conversations. But then the stuff that it's like, I made a wait until late Facebook group, and to be fair, I did lock it down so you can't just anyone other than me can't just make a comment and it just shows up, because I was so afraid of like spam stuff getting in,
Hmm.
or like why, anytime it's anything remotely controversial, it's like crazy comments can happen. It's Facebook. Um Anyways, all that to say, I think everybody is trying to look for, community, and
Hmm.
trying to build their community. And like you said, for me, I don't have, any family here, so I don't have anyone nearby that's just this automatic, like,
Hmm.
uh, which really makes it difficult for babysitting stuff, by the way.
Hmm.
Not that I go anywhere, but like I have a meeting tomorrow morning, and it's like there's no one, I don't have anybody that I can be like, hey, are you free during the daytime?
I forgot that's tomorrow morning. I was like, Jordan, I'm around, but no.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're gonna
But I got the
take
next week
you're gonna
for
take
your
care of the
next
next
news
week.
appearance. I don't know if we're
Yeah,
announcing that on
Oh.
I can announce. I won't say the network yet, just on the off chance that it doesn't happen. But I'm going to be interviewed on the news again, but
I
for
saw your last one. Yeah.
well, that was very, very brief, turned out. But for off February, so a reporter um, saw actually the gal at Main Main. Well, that wouldn't have been there when you were here, Becca. But there's a place called Main Street Play Cafe. It's this really
Oh, I've
cute
seen things
spot.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And so
awesome.
she sent my info to one of the news guys that she knows, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd love to do a story on that."
Mm,
So
cool.
gonna interview about off February, and I'm really
That's
hoping
awesome.
to drop in some stuff about the like the smartphone free childhood
Hmm.
and wait until eighth and distraction free schools and like work all of those
Hmm.
things. It's not an hour long segment though, I'm sure. So I'm gonna have to be real quick
While
with you.
wearing your millennial
They're
mom
gonna be like pulling the
sweatshirt.
microphone
Well,
away, and you're like, and also hold on.
but also, have you heard about this thing that I'm trying to do? Could you sign up here? Uh, yeah, I know. I need to think. So Helen and I have swag for this podcast, um,
That our amazing husbands made
that our
us.
amazing
That's
husbands got us for
awesome.
Christmas. And I did not wear it to my first interview because I was really second guessing. I thought, Well, people wear stuff to promote themselves, but this isn't about the podcast. But also, I don't know how they're filming it. So is it just going to say the word at the top, millennial? And then people are gonna be like, why is she wearing a sweatshirt that just says millennial? That's weird. Anyways, but I, I, I don't know. I
You
haven't
don't
thought
have to
about
wear
it.
it.
I know, but I do, like,
Wear it. Wear it.
I didn't even bring it up. And
I'll
I
just
don't
show
know.
up in the background. I know when and where they're filming. I'll just happen to be a customer at this local
Exactly. Yeah,
establishment.
it's not
I
going to
just
be at the
happen to be
library.
walking your baby
Oh
into
my
the store,
gosh.
your toddler child.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Bring Lily in to get a snack. She should be
Anyway.
napping during that time, Helen. She
Oh,
can't be out and about. Come on now.
nice. I get to babysit during nap
Responsible
time.
babysit. Yeah, there's going to be
What
very,
am I going to
this is
do
a
with
low
myself?
maintenance situation.
That's amazing.
Uh,
It won't be like
yeah.
the last time I babysat Lily, well, during nap time. And this was prior to me, becoming a mom, but I was pregnant at the time. So I was like hyper aware of all the
Yeah.
things. And I laid her down. She fell asleep perfectly. And then she rolled onto her belly. And I was like, oh, back is best. Back is best. Oh
Oh
my
my
gosh. My
gosh.
sister-in-law was a safe sleep specialist. So I was like, Brittany, is it okay that like, yes, Helen.
My gosh, how old was she with that? I don't
Ah,
even remember.
probably, I mean, older than anywhere near the age where you need to be concerned about how baby sleeps.
One and a half.
But oh yeah, I want to say
I really want
something
to
like
know, like,
that.
how did you feel? Like things that went through your head when you were pregnant versus like
Yes,
you're coming up on a
yes,
year and you're
uh-huh,
like, you do what you can.
100%. Yep.
Survival.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, even for you with, having now gone through it 3 times, it's like the difference between the first one to the second one
Oh my
to the third
gosh.
one.
Today's the perfect example of that. Like sledding. Like he's 2 and I'm over here like, of course, and you just start running through all the things that are can go terribly wrong because that's what moms do. But
Uh-huh.
then you also have like all of the research, like another benefit and terrifying thing that we have as millennials, like all of the research, I'm like playing with dad is good. Rough play it benefits all kids. Like this is they're durable. It's fine. And Nathan's like, he should go down by himself. And I'm like, no. But I was like, oh, can you please do it on the
The
like
slower
less steep
hill.
Bunny
side
Hill,
over
yeah.
there? And so he did that yesterday. And then today he's like literally going down on his belly on the circle one by himself on the big one. And I'm just like,
Oh my
oh my
gosh.
gosh, like I'm gonna like panic. He sat on Nathan's lap and did the ramp
Oh
today.
my gosh.
And
Oh.
like
I'm scared to do that.
and he went with his sister, and his sister, like Addie, like they think it's hilarious to go on the long one and then like roll off into the snow. And I was like, she's gonna do it. I'm like, please try and stay upright. They rolled. I was like,
They made
he's
it.
dead. His face is in the snow. Everything is wrong. And he like got up and he was like, again. And I was like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah. It's
just
speed, it's moving
the
fast, and
things right in our
yeah.
head that are just like in protective mode literally all the time. It's like it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But he's their child, right?
Yep.
And
Just
he just
shake
he
it
just
off.
does a
He's
lot
fine.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's fine.
Yeah. He's
I
He
more
does
turned
a
out
than
lot
okay.
more than Addie did. That's for sure.
yeah. I just realized I
Oh,
haven't taken, I don't know where, maybe you would know better, Helen, like where there is a good spot to
Oh, Northwoods.
sled around here.
Northwoods Park is where the action's
Okay.
at.
I haven't, Camden's not done like a hill.
Oh,
Like that,
yeah, they've got
he's
it.
turning 6 and I'm just now realizing I've not taken him to like sled. What's wrong
yeah,
with
me
me? How have
talking
I
about
not
a
done that?
face full of snow really got you excited for that, huh? Like
Yeah,
you're
but
like,
it's
hey, Becca
so
wants to know if you're gonna
fun.
giggle after this. Go.
Do
Oh
the
my
steep
gosh.
one. I know they would both love it, but I'm just now realizing
Oh
like that's
yeah.
something I loved as a kid is sledding,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and I have not taken my children sledding.
And you're still a good mom.
I know.
You're a great mom,
Well,
and there is still time to
they've
do it.
been on a sled, but it's been in the backyard, which is
There you go.
totally flat.
Yeah,
There
but
is zero slope.
the benefit of the hill is that you don't have to pull them around. You just push them and there they
That's
go.
true. That's very true. I would like to do that.
I don't
Yeah.
even think Violet's touched snow. I don't think I've ever been like, let's put on a coat and
Lily did not
You know
enjoy
what
her
though?
first
At that
experience.
age, best thing we did was like put a bunch of snow in like a tub
I did
and then
see
lay a
someone do
blanket
that
on the
on the
ground.
internet.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
was so great.
Oh.
Or we would fill up a couple of, like, oh my gosh, it was literally like the bottle that they give you after you have a
Yeah.
baby, right?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? The Perry bottle. And
Uh-huh.
I had like a couple of those. And so we put like different watercolor, or
I
not
see. I
watercolor,
just,
different food coloring,
food
and just
coloring
let
in
them
it. I
paint.
do love
And
that. Okay.
they
I
thought it
did
was the
that
greatest thing.
too.
That's a great idea.
Those
Okay.
bottles, I need more of
It's
those.
Those are good
multi-purpose.
bottles.
Yes.
Yeah, I grabbed a ton of them. When they say take everything from the
Yeah,
hospital,
I'm paying for it
I
anyways.
quite literally did. I probably took some things I wasn't supposed to take.
I remember you telling me that. You sent me that phone note, and I was like, you took the sheets?
No, oh no, I took
Only
the
Jordan.
sweat, the bed protector, where like you're sweating through that bed pad. I washed it on hot, and like the bleach cycle or whatever. It's fine.
Oh my
Listen,
gosh,
you get
Jordan.
the night sweats and you don't want to have to change your stinking sheets every 5 seconds. So I took the protective. Listen.
Let me tell you, I think that's hilarious, but I'm 0% surprised. 0%.
It was practical, and you know what? It's also come in handy when your kid is sick and has thrown up. Then guess what? You just put that pad down, and you don't have to change their sheets every 5 seconds if they're throwing up on hits the bed. You're
You're just
welcome,
spitting
everyone.
Or
facts here. Yeah.
cats.
Listen, if anyone is going to have a baby soon or in the future, there is this magical pad that they put on the bed, and you're gonna take it.
But that means you took like the bed sheets off of the bed,
No,
and
it
then
was
there's
on
a
top.
pad.
It was on
Oh,
top. It
I
was
don't
a
think I
You're like,
got
you're
that
welcome.
then.
I stripped the sheets
Oh,
for you,
That's
maybe
everybody.
maybe they changed their protocols after I was there because they're like, we seem to be missing these bed sheet cover pad things. Uh,
Oh my
yep, gonna have to
gosh.
start tucking them in underneath the sheet. It was just because lots of stuff happens, guys.
Lots of stuff does happen. That's
Lots of stuff
that is
Your
happens.
true.
Well,
bodies
and I
do
didn't take it
things.
with Camden. I didn't take it. I didn't know.
Oh,
But then after Camden, it was like,
but you
okay,
regretted
that
it.
pad thing that's on I'm taking that pad thing. I'm gonna go
Oh my
home and I'm
gosh.
gonna wash it. It'll be fine, sanitized,
Amazing.
and it's currently living under my bed.
You're a hero.
Like on the floor, not I don't just like sleep with it under the sheet
She's
regularly.
like, you never know.
It's true.
You never know with those night sweats.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't really know how to transition out of that one.
Well, we are
Night
coming up on an
sweats.
I was
hour.
gonna say
Yep.
we are
We
approaching
did
our hour.
diligently look at the clock.
Um, any I don't know. Any parting? I feel like I did have other, and this is why I should have written it down, because if I don't write it down, it doesn't happen. But I knew that this would just be a conversation that would just flow. What, what, um, what goals as an educator? What's like a future goal? Like, do you want to continue to be principal? Do you have other like higher administrative position, superintendent, whatever it is? What are some of your educator
The
goals
goals, my
that you
educator goals.
5-year plan? Go.
Dang. That's a really
Um,
heavy last question.
It is though, but
Also, if you were a shoe,
she's
what
a
shoe would you
planner.
be?
Yeah. You know what? That's a better one to end. What's your
oh my
shoe that will
gosh.
represent your next 5 years?
Okay, that actually, I'm gonna do one like shout out to Dan Overton's First Five, which you can get a free email from for
I don't know what this
teachers or
is.
anyone. But Dan Overton, he has really this whole thing about connection and building connection within spending your first 5 minutes
Oh,
of class building connection. And
ooh.
so it's kind of like it's a digital resource version of the modeling piece, and instead of having to come up with the prompt every time, like it's a different one every day, and he has like five different things, and there's one that's like K6, and then there's one that's like 712. And so like I think a big part of it would be like I want to stay in the school I'm at. I They've had a lot of transition the past couple of years, and like I said, like through no fault of their own to the staff, um, but like they're doing amazing things for student agency. Like before I got there, like I'm just kind of like here and helping and like, ooh, this like I think my favorite part of the job right now is um that I work with, like teachers are smart. They just have their plates full. And so
Yeah.
when a teacher says, this is what I really want to do, but I can't because blank, I think being in a principal role allows me to help like maybe change or shift some systems that allow like remove some barriers and just like allow those things to happen. And like that's already happened multiple times this year. And so we've been able to do like really cool things that are just like ideas teachers have that we couldn't have happen. So my goal would be to continue doing that, to continue with just like trying to support what they have already got going on. And then
Yeah.
just holding kids for high expectations. Like I think like even when you were talking about, you know, no matter how many people show up, that you continue to try and put on events and showings and do things like that's grit. And I think that we read a lot of articles about our this next generation not having it.
Yeah.
I've seen that like with some people who have come through the hiring process, like in the IF role, and obviously in my current role, like I get to participate in interviews. And
Ooh, that could be a
um,
whole nother episode is interviews.
yeah, there are definitely some interesting pieces of like just kind of an expectation that other people will work around me instead of like I'm here to work and that I can do hard things. I think that's something like I really wish kids all had as opposed to this mentality. I think we see a lot of like, if I can't do it, someone else should shift it
Mm,
for me so that I can do it the way I want to do it. And so again, saying like you continuing to do something even when it doesn't turn out exactly the way you want. Like I hope to continue to help kids build connections. We're going to try and do a house system next year. So I don't know if you've seen Ron Clark Academy or like essentially again, shout out to again Hogwarts. Like we're gonna do house systems. We're the tigers. So we're gonna have like Saber-tooth Tiger House, Bengal Tiger House. And
cool.
so like kids will get sorted and they'll have points. And like so there will be, you know, some of this vertical piece so that they can hopefully like learn from each other, give some student voice, but like just that student high student expectation. Like when I see teachers who are saying, "Oop, try that again with academic vocabulary." Um, that's just really what it's less of what I want to do and more of what I hope to like support
Mm.
the people who are in there actually doing it to do.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like
Um,
continuing to
yeah.
build community, like
Yes.
Mhm.
strengthening things that are already existing and
Connections, grit,
yeah.
empathy. I think if kids can leave my building having connections with other students, connections with adults, and a willingness to push through hard things, I'll feel pretty good.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's just a great community and they're focused on the right stuff. And so again, like when you work with people who to your point again, like have the same mindset around kids, whether you're raising kids or whether you're spending 8 hours a day
Yeah.
raising kids
Mm.
Yeah.
and helping them with all these things, like being around people who are like-minded with similar goals is game changer.
Critical. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice
Oh,
job bringing it home for us.
Yeah.
yes.
Thanks.
What were
You're
we
gonna
just
be
talking
our
about?
first
Bed sheets.
our yeah. We don't need to bring it back to bed
And
sheets
also if you
now.
have night sweats.
Check out our
Do you need to do
show
a link in
notes.
the show notes for
Sponsored by
my
that
glasses and
Okay, yeah.
uh-huh.
the bed sheets?
This will be
Hospital
our first
supply.
product placement for an
Oh my
episode.
gosh. Hospital grade.
Oh my
Love it.
goodness. Well, you gotta have it sometimes. Well, Becca, I just appreciate you taking a Sunday evening to chat with Helen and I about mom stuff and school stuff. I did
This
not
was so
expect
fun.
to talk about the bedsheet thing, but listen, it's part of it.
Now
Listen,
I was wondering if I was gonna have to cut that out, but you keep bringing
no,
it up. That's gonna make
no,
it really
that is in.
challenging.
That is
Okay.
gonna. I'm just gonna just keep repeating. Remember that time we brought up the bedsheet thing? You're like, Jordan, I'm trying to edit this out. It's just the
Oh my
truth. It's just how
gosh.
True.
we're just living our lives. I will end it then how I normally end it, even though it is very cold, and even though there is snow on the ground. And even though here they have not called school tomorrow, I don't think. Although this will air on a different whatever is happening outside.
It's
It
gonna be
doesn't
like
matter.
70.
Whatever is happening outside, still get out there. Get a little bit of fresh air. You can touch the grass, great. If you can build a snowman, great. Put gloves on, it's fine. Breathe fresh air, get off your screen, and that's all I got. That's it.
Thank you again to Becca Bramwell for being on our show today. Podcast music is by Brian Spickelmeyer. Jordan Spickelmeyer does social media, and I'm Helen Plevka-Jones, and I edit the audio. We'll catch you on the flippity
There it
flip.
is.
Oh,
I
I
was
almost
waiting.
lost all of it.